Welcome back to my Germany reaction channel. My name is John and I'm from Australia, but today this video is called The Dumbest Questions I've Been Asked by Americans. So she's German. I'll leave a link to her channel and this video so you can make sure you go subscribe to Feli from Germany. Oh yeah, this would be interesting. I'm intrigued to hear this, even though I'm from Australia, but yeah, I'm intrigued to how crazy can they go? Because yeah, you never know what they can come up with. There's a lot of smart people in America, but yeah, there's some very not smart people as well. To be honest, same here in Australia. I run into a lot of stupid people, so it's worldwide kind of, but yeah, let's get right into this video. Recommend me more videos, more Germany related videos to react to on this channel, and yeah, we'll make some more, but let's get right into it.
Say that there are no dumb questions.
Okay,
You know when people say that there are no dumb questions? I actually say that myself a lot. Well, turns out sometimes there are.
Let's find out. Feli from Germany.
Hello,
Subscribe.
servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Feli. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I've been living here in Cincinnati, Ohio, on and off since 2016. So for the fifth and last video of my Ask a German mini-series, I'm gonna answer this question that a lot of you guys also voted for in the poll. What's the most annoying question you get asked by Americans? Which reminded me of this TikTok trend from a couple months ago where people from all over the world talked about the dumbest question an American had asked them.
There's maybe like 10 of us all trying to explain to this American couple why they probably don't have fireworks for the 4th of July in Marrakesh, Morocco.
And I said I've never really been more than a city kid. Like I've always been either near or in a city. And she asked me, weren't you born in Peru? And I was like, yes. She goes, wait, I don't understand. Like, how are you in a city in Peru?
And then he said, oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you, it's not pronounced Algeria, it's pronounced Argentina. I had to explain to him that I came from an actual country called Algeria.
So I decided that I'll be sharing...
I lost it with that one. I'll tell you, I lost it with that one. Algeria.
That I came from an actual country called Algeria.
So I decided that I'll be sharing both with you, the most annoying and the dumbest questions I've been asked by Americans. And of course, no offense to anyone who has asked me these things before. As I said in this video, I usually don't think that any questions are stupid, especially when it's about cultural differences and those kinds of things. But that doesn't mean that there aren't moments where I think to myself, wow, seriously?
Yeah.
Still, please just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't think they're silly questions or dumb questions. But it's, yeah, any question. Like she's saying, I like how she says, like, any question can be a good question. But then you just start to question, wow, that was a bit silly. And it's more you're surprised that they had to ask about that.
Let's start with the dumbest questions I've been asked by Americans, and the first one is this one. Why do we call Germany Deutschland in German? I had never been asked this question before I came to the US, and I do understand people wondering about why Germany has so many different names in different languages, but I've straight up been asked before, so why do you have a different name for your country? Why don't you just call it Germany? Or why do you call your hometown this weird other name, München, if you could just say Munich? Number 2 on my list is this one. Hi, I'm Felicia. I'm from Germany. Wow, that's so cool. Like, have you lived in Germany before? Yeah, I was born and raised there. I didn't even come to the US until I was 22, after I got my bachelor's degree. So, do you speak German? Which language do people think one speaks when they're born and raised in Germany? Sometimes the conversation even goes on a little.
Like, that's that to me. Like, again, I don't want to, categorize, if that's the right word, them too much, like Americans, but like that's such an obvious, see, that is a dumb question to ask. Like, you say, what, you were there since she was 22, or yeah, she lived there till she was 22 years old. Of course she would speak German. Like, yeah, that is a dumb question. I don't think you can argue that. Like, come on. No one's home upstairs there.
Speaks when they're born and raised in Germany. Sometimes the conversation even goes on a little. Yeah, of course I do. Like, fluently? Yeah, it's my native language. Like, my whole family is German. And guys, I've probably had this conversation 10 to 20 times in the US, so it's not one of those once-in-a-lifetime situations. I actually just had it again this past weekend.
Wow.
Before I share the next question on my list...
So it's not just a one-off of one person, being silly. Wow, that's crazy. Like, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but can't you compute that if someone's lived in a country for 22 years, you would speak the language that's native to that country? Like, come on.
I want to introduce today's sponsor, which is a platform that I wish I knew about when I still went to university, Sudoku.
All right, we'll just do a quick skip of the ads, but appreciate her sponsor. Okay, should come to an end about here.
My link in the description box below and try Sudoku yourself. Now, back to the dumbest questions I've been asked by Americans, and the next one is yet another one that I had never heard outside of the US. And I've been to about 20 different countries in total. Hey, German girl, so what's it like driving on the wrong side of the road? What do you mean? You know, since we drive on the right side of the road here, so do we in Germany. Wait, I thought you guys drive on the left side. I really don't know why so many people think this, because I'm telling you, even Americans that know a little more about the rest of the world than the average American have asked me this before. But guys, it's mainly the UK and former British colonies that drive on the left side, like Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, or countries in Southeast Asia like Thailand.
I was gonna say, Germany is not Australia or UK. There's just like America, they think... No, I'm saying America, that means I think everyone, but anyone outside of their country is branched into that.
Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, or countries in Southeast Asia like Thailand.
There's still quite a few though.
We all drive on the right side, besides the British. Next up, I always find it a dumb question when I tell people that my name is Felicia, or Felicia in German, and they ask why I have an American name if I'm German. I know that's not a super dumb question, but I always find it a little ignorant. Like, so many names are names that you'll find in all kinds of languages, like Julia, Julia, or Anna, Anna, or Peter, Peter, and Felicia has a Latin origin and shows up in all kinds of languages. That's actually one of the reasons my parents gave me this name, because they thought it might be helpful if the name exists in other languages as well. And well,
I like that.
They were right about that. And to get to the really, really dumb questions, we're gonna have to go back in time a little to when I came to the US for the first time at the age of 16 to participate in a high school exchange. Some of the American kids were even younger than 16 at the time, and I think it's okay that they didn't know all that much about other countries, but I was still shocked by some of these questions. I got the classics, like if all Germans are Nazis, or if Hitler is still alive, but also questions like, do you guys have refrigerators in Germany?
Okay. Yeah.
Now let's get to the most...
See, like, the previous one is like, I don't want to say his name, and and the N-word is what, wait. You know what, she said it, Nazis. But that's almost a bit of, you know, kids just trying to be funny, but then the next one.
Or if Hitler is still alive.
Yeah,
but also questions like, do you guys have refrigerators in Germany?
That's more the dumb question. The one before, that was, maybe just kids trying to be funny. But that one's more the dumb question. Do you have refrigerators? I mean... Huh?
Now let's get to the most annoying questions I get asked by Americans, and the first one is more of a me thing, I think. I don't think that other Germans are annoyed by this, but when people talk about soccer around me, they often go, oh, no, sorry, you guys call it football, right? So this football player, Lionel Messi, blah, blah, blah. Or when I say soccer, people often go, wait, I thought you guys called it football. And yes, I know that some Europeans are very set on calling it football, but I always find this kind of annoying. Like, I'm speaking American English right now. Why would I call it football if that just leads to confusion in this country? I really don't care what it's called. I just want to make sure that everyone understands what we're talking about. Plus,
I'll give my perspective because it's like on the topic. I'm from Australia and we've got, well, at least one other sport that's called football, which is AFL. If you don't know about it, check it out. But then in certain parts of the country, they call rugby league football because it's kind of the main sport in that part of the country. And I love football, which is called soccer, but not in normal speak, we'll just call it soccer, so there's no confusion. But then when I'm sometimes making these videos and talking about football, I never call it soccer. I call it football because I know it's normally in Europe, it's known to be called football. But I don't really call it football so much in person, because then people get confused, because it's not what majority of people in this country think of when you say football. So it's interesting.
I really don't care what it's called. I just want to make sure that everyone understands what we're talking about. Plus, no, we don't call...
I just said that. So we're on the same page. You just want to not confuse others.
I just want to make sure that everyone understands what we're talking about. Plus, no, we don't call it football in Germany, actually. We call it Fußball.
Yes.
So I personally really don't care which English word I use for it. In American English, it's called soccer, so that's what I'll say, and that's what I expect Americans to use too. Then I find it kind of annoying that I always get asked things like, wait, don't you guys drink your beer warm in Germany? No, Kyle, we don't. I've addressed this topic in several...
She called it... Well, I was going to say him. Obviously, she's playing the character. Kyle was the chosen name.
Beer warm in Germany? No, Kyle, we don't. I've addressed this topic in several videos before, though, if you're interested. Number 3 on the list of annoying questions is when Americans say something like, so how are you dealing with all of our local accents? Like, have you noticed that some people will call it pop instead of soda? That must be so confusing to you. What accents are you talking about? Like, yes, regional accents are a thing in the US, but compared to pretty much every other country in the world that has been around for more than 300 years, Americans literally speak the same wherever you go. Like, in Germany, we have over 100 dialects, and our country is smaller than Texas. Sometimes people speak a different dialect in the neighboring village with different pronunciations, different words, and different sentence structures.
That's
it's really
impressive.
not that crazy that there are a couple words that people use differently in different parts of the US. Given how big this country is, the amount of different accents and dialects is actually extremely low. And the same thing goes for when people say things like, you gotta know that us Americans, we use a lot of slang. We don't really speak proper English, you know. Oh, thank you for explaining that. Yeah, other languages don't have colloquialisms and slang. And last but not least, this might sound kind of mean. I think a few of these things actually have sounded kind of mean. But I sometimes find it annoying when people ask me about how authentic the German food is at a specific restaurant here. Like, it really depends on what you mean by that, because we don't eat schnitzel and potato salad every single day in Germany. And most of what you find here is traditional Bavarian food and doesn't represent the rest of Germany at all. So the answer is that in most cases, things have been Americanized a little. So that's something that I can at least judge. And it's also pretty easy to judge the pretzels, which aren't German at all at most places in the US. And beer cheese isn't a German thing either, guys, and neither is dipping your pretzels in mustard. But yeah, I personally don't love that question because it's just such a vague question to answer. And the weirdest thing is when people ask me about pseudo-German food that is actually from the US, like Gouda, which is very popular here in the Cincinnati region, or sauerkraut balls, or the beer cheese dip that I just mentioned. And then people ask me how authentic that is, and I'm just like, well, I've never seen this before I came to the US. So those were all the things that I could think of for these questions. The craziest response on TikTok that I've come across, and several people have shared the same story here, is about Americans being confused when a foreigner explains to them that their family is 7 hours ahead because of the time zones. And apparently the American doesn't really understand time zones, so they ask, so why didn't anyone warn us about 9/11 then if they're 7 hours ahead?
No, they didn't go there, did they?
Yeah. People have seriously shared personal stories like that, and there are a lot more of those questions out there that you can check out.
Like, I'll say that jokingly because, like, I'm from Australia, and again, with the time difference, and say, like, oh, I'm from the future. But when you say that, it's in a jokingly way, like, not, not meaning it literally.
This was it with my Ask German mini-series. If you haven't seen the other 4 videos, just check them out up here.
Alright,
and
if there's any of those ones you want me to check out, or should I just check out all of them, let me know. But yeah, let me, if there's any of these ones you want to see, my reaction and thoughts.
Like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell. This is where you can follow me and support my channel. And now I want to hear your stories. What is the dumbest or most annoying question that you've been asked by an American or by another person that wasn't from the same country as you? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope that I'll see you for my next video in a few days, which is going to be a very special one that I've been working on for weeks now. So definitely activate that bell so that you don't miss out on it, and I hope I'll see you then. Tschüss!
Okay, that was really good. So kind of what she was saying at the end, let me know in this video, in my video, in this reaction in the comment section. Yeah, have you been, if you're German, have you been asked any silly questions? Yeah, some of the dumbest questions, maybe let me know. And yeah, let me know in the comment section along with any other videos you would like to see my reactions on. So I really like this one. But yeah, Feli from Germany, be sure to subscribe to her channel. Puts great effort in, yeah, great quality videos. So I might check out a few more. So I'm going to leave it there. See you in the next one.